that dream was lost. Because like, what am I gonna do? He's gone. So I experienced my first issue with depression at that point. But it took that they came to me and said, Jennifer, you're not gonna graduate. And anybody who knows me and know my parents, my mom and my daddy did not play, okay? My daddy is the silent bomber. You don't know when he's gonna blow. And my mama, she is the definition of 0 to 100. Okay? My mama is very old school. She grew up right here in Georgia, in Cochran, Georgia, where she'll come to the school. She didn't care how old you was. She gonna yank you out of class, check you in front of everybody, and then leave, and then get you when you get home. And then all of a sudden, this one of the counselors who knew me, who knew my grandfather, and pulled me out of class. She wasn't even my counselor. Pulled me out of class and said, what you doing? What you doing? She cussed me out. Yes, she did. I was so surprised. I said, you can't cuss at me. You work here. She said, hold on. She took off her badge, closed the door, and said, look here. And she cussed me out some more. And she said, your granddaddy rolling around in his grave if you don't graduate and take your behind to school. I woke up at that point, but the depression was still there. But I did what I had to do. But that leads me to my next point. There are over 200 classified diagnoses in mental health. And I'm a very interactive speaker, so I want you guys to interact back with me. Okay? How many of y'all know the top 5 diagnoses? Just yell it out.
Depression.
That's 1.
Anxiety.
That's 2.
Yeah.
That's 3. That's 4.
Schizophrenia.
So you said schizophrenia. Got bipolar. PTSD is 1, but that's actually number 6. What do y'all think number 5 is? It's one of the biggest mental health disorders ever that you would never think about. Anxiety is one of them.
Postpartum?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's
Dementia.
the depression. Oh.
Dementia is in the top 5 mental health disorders. See, people don't talk about that. They don't talk about that. Also, mental health can be hereditary. It can be psychological. But the biggest thing with mental health is it's actually environmental. You don't just wake up one day and say, I'm schizophrenic. It don't work like that. However, we talked about at the last Hill of the City, the hereditary portion of it is mainly with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is usually brought down by the mother. Usually the trait is passed down by the father for schizophrenia. However, as studies are progressing, research is actually showing it's less and less and less more likely that you'll develop schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. Okay? One of the biggest misconceptions about bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Do anybody know the difference between the two?
I think it's like schizoaffective and
Girl, you
schizophrenia.
smart.
And, and bipolar type 2 and regular bipolar.
You a psych major.
No, that I have a mental illness.
Okay. Schizoaffective disorder is kind of a combination of bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. The difference between the two is not very much. Bipolar disorder mostly affects mood. You have extreme episodes of energy. You have mania. If I once had a client, y'all, she had bipolar disorder. She came into my office and was like, I'm so tired of your office looking like this. She rearranged my whole office in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Desks, chairs, pictures, everything. Because she was in such a manic state. So you have high levels of energy, you have mania, and you have depression. To be diagnosed with bipolar disorder, you need at least one episode of mania, but you have your highs and your lows. Where you're sitting on top of the world, and then all of a sudden it's like, ugh. Then you might have an episode of depression, to where people become in a manic state. Like some people are shoppers, to where you know you only got $3 in your bank account, and you just went and bought a $3,000 Gucci bag. But you ain't worried about it because you feel the bank gonna cover it. And then it's like when you get the bank statement and it's like, we're gonna close your account, it's like, oh my God. And you fall into this depression. The difference between that and schizophrenia is, schizophrenia, you have those same high levels of energy, but it's at such an extreme level that you become delusional. And you have delusional thinking. And it's very unrealistic, and you believe it. Okay? Because it's a very misconception that if you hear voices or you see things, you're schizophrenic. Not true. You can be bipolar disorder with psychotic features. You can be bipolar 2 with psychotic features. You can have major depression with psychotic features. Okay? The difference is those voices, 9 times out of 10, are more commanding, and you have what they call grandiose. Grandiose means you are completely out of touch with reality. You don't have a clue. For example, I'm going to diagnose Kanye. Kanye is leading. Kanye is having highs and lows. Okay? But some of the things that he says is logical. However, in his mind, is so intertwined, he can't get his thoughts together. And honestly, if he's honest with himself, because he did admit being on medication, which is nothing wrong with it, his thoughts, he's to the point he's having a bipolar episode where he's having the highs and the lows, and he's not, it's very evident that he's not on medication. What a lot of people don't understand is, especially in the African American community, medication is not necessarily the enemy. Okay? What a lot of people don't understand, mostly healthcare providers, just because a doctor is prescribing you medications doesn't mean they know what they're prescribing you. Okay? I'm a reader. I did a little research. The state of Georgia, for the statistics for 2017, 2018 hasn't come out yet. The state of Georgia has 133,000 mental health cases of people who have actually come forward for help.
Wow.
Okay? Y'all are actually in a state that has the funding for mental health. I live in a state, which is Florida. We have one of the highest mental health rates and no money. The money keeps getting taken away. Okay? I dug a little deeper. I dug into Brunswick. You guys have a population of almost 16,000 people. Of those 16,000 people, guess how many seek help for a mental health illness? Throw a number out there.
3,000.
3,000?
11,000.
That's really high. 112.
Wow.
Wow.
So this room should be full. Seriously. 112 people Brunswick has over 6,000 reported cases, but only 112 people have actually sought help. Okay? Another point, every mental health affects 1 in 5 people. That's a lot. That's a lot. You know, we stereotype that mental health are those top 5 diagnoses. But they're really not. You got borderline personality disorders. You know those people who think they know everything? That's a personality disorder. People who don't like being in crowds all the time, that's personality disorder. Okay? I have a mental health disorder. I got anxiety like I don't know what. You probably can't tell, but I do. Bad. My heart is like doing like this right now. Seriously. But I overcome my fears because this is something I need to do. This is something I have to overcome. What I want to leave you with today is, don't be afraid to seek help. It's a very common misconception that the church looks at mental health differently. And some do, but you need a support system. You got to have a support system, okay? Use your faith, exercise your faith. Prayer, 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 prayer. I cannot stress it enough. Prayer works, y'all. Find you somebody, like the young lady said before, find you somebody who you can confide in, who's not going to judge you. The one person I have for that is sitting right back there in the back. That's Miss Chloe. That's my sister. We can talk about anything, and I ain't got to worry about her judging me, and vice versa. I might not like what she might say, but she gonna keep it real with me, and I'm the big sister. Okay? If you are a victim, turn your victim from being a victim into being victorious. It just take a step. If you angry, I promise you, y'all, seek peace. Pray for peace. If you lost, you're right in the right place. Y'all better get on your knees and start praying to God. Because when I tell y'all I don't worry about nothing, nothing. I was this close last week to losing my job. Just because this mouth of mine is, what comes up comes out, and then I be like, oh Lord Jesus, did I just say that? I did, I said it. But I had to humble myself, and I'm still working on me. God's still working on me. All these stories you are hearing, they're not made up. These are real people. I'm a real person. You a real person. Find your way, whether it's writing, whether it's speaking, whatever it is, whether you make t-shirts say trust God, whatever it is, whether you buy chapsticks and pass them out and say in the name of Jesus, whatever it is, find your peace. You have to start somewhere. Start the healing process. It will not be easy. If it was that easy, everybody would be so happy with happy lollipops and rainbows. But it's not. That is my time, and I hope you guys enjoy.